Carolina Ramburo again. And in this video, what I want to talk about, and I want to start discussing with you, and really is the beginning of a conversation about stress. I do call it the beginning of the conversation because it's a big subject, bigger than most of us are, aware of, I found. And after watching the video, if you would take a moment to go to the website, the link below the video, and share with me what you got, share with me your comments, give me your feedback, it would make a major difference for me. This is a big subject, stress, and you have a lot to contribute. And I'm not selling you on anything. I'm out to make a difference for you, and the way that you can make a difference for me is share with me and give me your feedback, and who knows, all the things that you have to contribute in this subject. The subject of stress. I'm going to share with you a little bit of my experience, and even though you may not have the same one, I am inviting you to see yourself and me in whatever degree you do. Because some people have a lot of stress, like I discover. Some people have a regular amount of stress, like everybody in daily lives, and some people don't. So if you have lots of stress, some stress, a little bit of stress, this can make a difference if you customize it for yourself. And if you have no stress, this can be something that you use to make a difference for the people in your life that are dealing with stress. So, I had to learn about stress in a very dramatic way, because I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, that I never thought that I had stress, so to speak. I had a very interesting opinion about stress. I thought that I could be tough enough to deal with any amount of stress, and I thought that I could always deal with any amount of stress successfully and be, more powerful, tough than stress. And that is very dangerous, to be so overconfident in that aspect. And I got the, dramatic wake-up call 8 months ago when I got very sick, and many of the aspects of my illness I'm sharing in the videos, you're going to discover as you watch my videos. But one of the aspects of my illness is that I have a chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. So I have a chronic amount of stress that has been not treated for years, for a few years. So 3-4 years of a chronic condition undiscovered, untreated is very dangerous. So, first thing about stress, right? When you have a condition like mine, there's a couple of alternatives, right? As my doctor said, first of all, it's a chronic amount. It's very dangerous. And the couple of things to do are, one, take medication, traditional medicine, take medication, right? Do conversational therapy, and help yourself in natural ways. So, this is a little problem, right? You're gonna get to see, by the way, my little problem. So, help yourself in natural ways, right? That's one thing that I can totally do, and I'm always a major cheerleader for natural ways, right? So, many things that, alternative medicine says that you can do, like meditate and take vitamins, that support stress, and exercise, and do many things. So, and by the way, I'm applying in this subject of stress the first and the second health proposal. So if you haven't watched those videos, when you're done with this one, please go back and watch those videos. They're all free, and they're in my channel. So if you are going through this condition of stress, like me or less, in whatever degree you are, definitely you have to do what the doctor says to do. So in my case, definitely I had to take medication, right? That's inevitable when you have reached the limit that I have reached. Now, talk therapy this is a little bit of a dilemma, okay? Normally when somebody has a chronic post-traumatic stress disorder, in the degree that I do, there is something that happened. You know, either they were under a lot of stress for years and years and years, and they didn't deal with it like I did, or they went through a traumatic event. You know, people that have been at war, people that, you know, went through a crime and assault and horrible things, right? So in that case, I absolutely, totally think it makes a huge difference, you know, talking therapy, and in many cases it does, but in my opinion, but in my case, there's nothing traumatic, so to speak, that happened to me. Nothing, like, you know, not even a breakup, nothing. So it was like hard to use talking therapy when there is no event to work through in the conversation. So, and way worse that, this is a little funny problem, that are not funny, but it is in the end, that I've been practicing for the last 15 years. My life and my career has been about applying many different parts and specific techniques of talking therapy, from psychology, behavioralism, ontology. That's what I have done for the last 15 years. So in this whole aspect, I have a lot, like I'm blessed enough that I have a lot of techniques and a lot of exercises and a lot of distinctions that I can do. So I did a lot of those myself, with myself, and I did it with, you know, supervision of my doctor and everything. And, you know, and couple of exercises, couple of conversations, couple of distinctions, the psychological side of my post-traumatic stress disorder was resolved. You know, so that was resolved in a couple of days, but then there is the physical damage that the untreated chronic post-traumatic stress disorder causes. And it's actually physical, like actually shaking the entire night and not being able to sleep. Like many things that happen during the day, many, not gonna get into it, but there is the physical side of it, and that's not resolvable with talking therapy. So therefore, medication and alternative medicine, you know, do acupuncture, do meditation, do vitamins, do many things. So I did both, you know, obviously follow my doctor's prescriptions and everything, but also did all the natural things that I could do. And this is what made a huge difference for me. In the physical aspect of the post-traumatic stress disorder, my doctor said that it would take about a year or a year and a half to be able to conquer all the physical symptoms of this part of my illness, and that it would literally take a year if we're lucky, a year and a half as an average, until all those symptoms are quote-unquote under control. But I decided to not give up on possibilities of miracles, so I tried everything. And I'm so recommending you take the health journey to discover everything way before you need it. It would have made a difference for me if I did it way before. Way more than now, but it made a difference now also. I discovered, for example, listening to my body and trying all kinds of things, and being on a unstoppable, you know, journey that I will find natural answers for it all. And I'm very, you know, blessed that in less than 6 months, the medication that I needed to deal with this aspect of my illness went from the amount that we started to 0. And that's pretty dramatic. And even my doctor says that he has never seen something go so fast. But it wasn't just magic. It was, you know, intense exploring what is it that is going to make a difference. Like what exercise makes a difference, like what food makes a difference, what type of music makes a difference, what kind of meditation makes a difference, all kinds of things, what kind of herbal tea to take at what time in the day, what kind of food not to eat, all kinds of things. I'll tell you one that you know, will give you a little sense of what I'm talking about. And that's why in the second health proposal, I so recommended to take the time to develop that kind of communication with your body where you can actually get what your body needs and you can start giving it. Everybody says exercise supports people in dealing with stress, right? Now, I have done exercise my entire life. I'm an exercise, if you like to call it, fanatic. I love exercise. I've been, done many sports and many types of exercise my whole life, but to support myself with the chronic stress aspect of my illness, just doing exercise doesn't work. Every doctor says, with an hour of exercise, you have plenty of what you need, what your body needs. An hour and a half, that's more than plenty. But it didn't work for me, just doing an hour and a half. I kept exploring until I got that at the beginning of the illness, I needed about 3 hours of exercise. And that made a huge difference in plateauing many of the symptoms and being able to have a stable day. It's not just any exercise, because I tried them all. I tried martial arts, I tried yoga, I tried lifting weights, I tried running, I tried swimming, I tried all kinds of things. I'm not going to tell you everything that there was that I tried, but in doing all of that and being willing to keep discovering what is it, I got that what works is intense kind of exercise. Like, even though yoga is great at night to go to sleep and everything, for me, it doesn't work in the beginning of the day to manage and like conquer, if you like, the stress, to do any exercise that is not intense. That I need to reach a particular heart rate. And it has to be intense enough to reach that heart rate. And when I do, and I sustain it for sometimes more than an hour, more than 2 hours, some days more than 3 hours, then my body can win over the condition of chronic stress and it becomes stable during the day. That's miraculous that with exercise you can do that much good to your body. Just little detail, right? But it's not just any way of exercising. It's not just the heart rate. I discovered first that the heart rate, and that I have to be willing to do way more exercise than most people. Not just an hour, not just 2 hours, sometimes even 3, but be willing to keep going until it becomes stable. Because I have learned to know exactly how my body goes through the kind of chronic stress that it goes through and when it stabilizes. So, not just that, but also what kind of exercise. I discovered, let's see if you laugh, I do. I discovered it has to be exercise without distractions, by myself, intense. And one of the ways that I did that, I achieved that the first part of my illness was climbing stairs with a weight vest for 2-3 hours sometimes. And I know it sounds funny, and it is, but I discovered that if I have no distractions, no pictures, no windows, no TVs, no music, no nothing, just the stairs are no distractions, no person talking to me, nothing, just going up, 53 floors, up and down as many times as it takes to complete sometimes an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, with sometimes 25-pound, 30, 40, 50 pounds weight vest. That is what made a major difference and improving dramatically the condition of chronic stress disorder. And that would have never happened if I didn't take the health journey. I think our bodies are such an unbelievable, perfect gift that they are so wise, our bodies, and they can so help us, help ourselves with our health conditions and health challenges, that if we take the time to discover, it may be funny, it may be absurd what your body needs, and it may not be like mine, but if you take the time, you'll discover. I discovered that kind of exercise that makes a difference with my stress. I discovered exactly the kind of music that makes a difference with my stress. I even discover the kind of conversations exactly that I need to have to support that condition during the day. I so invite you to take the journey and to discover and give yourself permission to develop maybe one of the most important relationships that you can develop for supporting your health, the relationship with your body. Thank you for the opportunity, and I'll see you in the next video.